Today we're checking out another Samsung tablet, this time the new Galaxy Tab Active5. This has to be one of the few devices I've seen where you can actually remove the battery. I can't even remember the last time I've seen that. You might not be familiar with the Active series. It's a little more rugged, typically geared towards businesses, but it's got an 8-inch LCD display at 16:10 aspect ratio, 1920 by 1200 resolution, up to 120 Hz refresh rate. Also includes an S Pen. Comes with an Exynos 1380 processor with 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage. Also takes a micro SD card up to 1 TB. It's got a 5050 milliamp hour battery. It's got an IP68 waterproof and dustproof rating. It's also got military grade drop and anti-shock protection. Weighs in at 431 grams. Also, look how thick this box is. Typically they're about half the thickness of this, if that. I believe there's only one color, green. Also comes with a TPU case. Seems pretty flexible. Wow, that's hard to get out of there. You can see it's got a really thick S Pen. Definitely a little different than what I'm used to seeing. You'll also notice it's got a textured button there. Also, it has that texture here on the end. Just feels like a more rugged version of the S Pen. And here's the 5050 milliamp hour battery. You've also got your quick start guide, terms and conditions. Surprisingly, you do have a USB-A wall adapter. Kind of looks like the older style fast charger, and USB-C to USB-A charging cable. Okay, this actually looks really nice. You can see it's basically a slimmer version of what the case looks like. I think it's just plastic here on the back. Definitely has a rugged look to it though. I also like the lime green accent color that goes around the camera on the back. And on the button there on the side, I believe that's a dedicated button you can use for various things. It also has a texture around the edges. Sort of makes it feel like it's in a case already, but no, that's just the back of the tablet. You've also got your SIM card or micro SD card tray there on the side. Kind of looks like pogo pins there as well. Not sure if that's for a keyboard attachment or something else. You've also got a headphone jack on the bottom, and then your speaker and USB-C charging port as well. Looks like you've just got a microphone there on the top. You can also see there's a little notch here on the back to take the back off to put the battery in. Unless you're familiar with the Active series, here's something I bet no one thought they would see in 2024, a Samsung tablet where you can remove the battery. It does take a little bit to get the back off, but not too bad. Pretty simple to just snap it around the edges to put it back on. As you can see, the bezels on the top and bottom are definitely a little bit thicker, but as you can see down at the bottom, they're actually using physical buttons for this and a physical fingerprint scanner. And where the fingerprint scanner is, it also works as a home button as well. Now when setting up, you got face unlock, fingerprints, PIN, password, and pattern. Of course, you got the option of light and dark mode. Okay, I like they're going with green to match the color of the back. Here's just a quick size comparison. You can see it's fairly close to the Galaxy Tab A9, a little taller and skinnier than the iPad Mini 6, but obviously it's a little more rugged, thicker, and a little heavier than both of those tablets. It does seem to be just about the right width though. I can hold this with one hand with no problems. Left of the home screen, you've got Google Discover or Samsung Free. It's currently on Android 14, One UI 6.0. I believe you get 4 years software updates with this, 5 years security updates. It's currently using about 16% of the 128 gigabytes of storage. I kind of like this. You can change it to gesture navigation, but you can still use the physical buttons down at the bottom. As far as the apps go, you've got most of your typical ones from Samsung, Google, Microsoft. They do add a couple extras like Netflix and Spotify. It also has the Edge panel, which you can modify. And then of course you've got all of your S Pen features that you get on other Samsung tablets that come with the S Pen, like Smart Select, S Pen to text, air actions using the little button on here, There's really no spot for the S Pen until you put the case on. So that kind of makes sense why they give you the case. Once you push it all the way in, it is a little bit hard to get back out. So yeah, you might want to use the case just so you have a spot to put the S Pen. It's also wide vinyl 1, so it's good for streaming apps like Netflix. You can also watch up to 4K resolution for YouTube videos as well. I feel like the screen quality on here is pretty nice. It's got good contrast. Sure, it's not an AMOLED display, but I feel like it still looks really good in person and is plenty bright enough for indoor use. You also have the taskbar down here at the bottom, which comes in handy if you want to switch back and forth between apps. Now with the power button, you can wake Bixby or do the power off menu, double press it to quick launch the camera or open any other app. But now you've got an extra active button where you can press it to get the camera, press and hold for the calendar, or you can choose just about any app for both of those actions, which is actually really nice to just have an extra shortcut button. The case itself actually seems to work pretty good. Doesn't feel like it adds too much weight to the tablet. It's got the new style of notification shade. You've got smart view and device control at the bottom, eye comfort shield, dark mode. You've also got sound, auto rotate, airplane mode, flashlight, power saving, location, link to Windows, screen recorder, quick share. This one also has Samsung DeX, nearby share, do not disturb, call and text on other devices, second screen, Dolby Atmos, but you can only use that with headphones, scan QR code, modes, multi-control. You can also modify what shows up there on the top, plus a lot of other shortcuts you can add on here, like secure folder, kids, secure Wi-Fi, NFC, pretty much everything that you would need on here. Let's turn that on, that way I can just swipe from the corner to get everything at once. One downside to this tablet, it is pretty expensive at over $500. I believe you can get this as a SIM or a Wi-Fi version. I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. Even though this does have Samsung DeX, it doesn't seem to have video out, so you wouldn't be able to just connect a USB adapter and hook this up to an external monitor or a TV. So you would have to connect it wirelessly, which I guess is okay if you have something compatible. I just think it's a little easier to use an HDMI adapter. I ran my typical battery drain test and it lasted about 6 hours, so about average compared to some of the other tablets that I've tested. It should have plenty of juice to last a day or two of mixed usage, even longer if you turn the screen brightness down. It is a bit slower to charge back up though, at around 2 hours. Now performance-wise, it's not the most powerful tablet out there. Just by looking at the Geekbench scores, it's actually really similar to the new Galaxy Tab S9 FE, and that's in CPU and GPU scores. It can also play games like Asphalt 9 and PUBG Mobile fairly smooth, even though this isn't considered a gaming tablet. Again, pretty comparable to the Galaxy Tab S9 FE when it comes to gaming, except this one's much easier to handle because of the smaller size, and the extra bezel on the side gives you a little extra space to hold the tablet as well. It only has one bottom firing speaker, so it's not going to be the loudest tablet out there. I feel like it's pretty decent though for just one speaker. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. As far as cameras, it's got a 13 megapixel lens on the back, 5 megapixel on the front. In the camera app, you've got portrait, photo, video, a couple options there and more like pro, night, food, panorama, and hyperlapse. You can also shoot up to 4K 30 frames per second for video recording. It seems to have decent shutter speed. This isn't going to be flagship quality as far as photos and video, but it should be good enough for most things. Here's a few samples just to give you an idea of what to expect. It's probably hard to tell from this video, but the photo and video quality is sort of what you would expect on mid-range tablets, but you could probably get by using this for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls if you had to. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff with this tablet, especially if you've never used the Active series. It actually feels very similar to other Samsung tablets, but it has a lot of extras. It's kind of hard to believe you get some of these features in 2024, like the headphone jack, physical buttons, and the physical fingerprint scanner on the front, a battery that you can actually remove. It's really nice you can replace the battery, plus it works with the S Pen, and it's kind of nice to have that extra button there on the side. Overall, it definitely feels like a nice tablet, and it has a lot of features that people are looking for. Really, the only downside that I can see is it's a little bit pricey, but I may have to do some comparisons with this and some other tablets. I know I've got a lot of other tablet and phone videos I'm working on, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from clHYSYncHB Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.